Hello, my name is Hope. People often ask me why I started Calm AI. The answer is simple. I didn't start Calm AI because I had everything figured out. I started Calm AI because I was trying to figure things out myself. Like many people, I spent years working hard. I worked multiple jobs. I took care of responsibilities. I showed up for my family. I did what needed to be done, but underneath all of that, I knew there had to be another way. I knew there had to be a way to build a future that wasn't based entirely on trading hours for dollars. I knew there had to be a way to create more freedom, more flexibility, more security, more time with family. As a grandmother, that became especially important to me. I didn't want my future to be filled with financial fear. I didn't want retirement to feel uncertain. I wanted to create something meaningful, something that could help other people while helping me build a better future too. Then I discovered artificial intelligence. At first, I was curious, then I became fascinated, then I realized something that changed everything. AI wasn't just a technology, it was a tool that could help ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things, a tool that could level the playing field, a tool that could help people work smarter, a tool that could help people who felt left behind. That realization became the beginning of Calm AI because I saw something happening. People were excited about AI, but they were also scared, overwhelmed, confused, and many of them felt embarrassed to ask questions. I knew there had to be a better way, a calmer way, a safer way, a more human way, and that's why Calm AI was born. Not from perfection, but from curiosity. Not from having all the answers, but from a desire to help people find them. AI changed how I think, it changed how I learn, it changed how I work, and most importantly, it changed what I believed was possible. Before AI, many tasks felt overwhelming. Writing, research, planning, organizing, brainstorming, creating content, developing resources, building systems, everything required more time. AI didn't eliminate the work, but it reduced the friction. And that matters because when friction decreases, progress increases. I started using AI to organize ideas. Then I used it to improve workflows. Then I used it to create educational resources. Then I began exploring business automation. Then I started building products, books, workbooks, podcasts, training programs, business systems, educational content. What once felt impossible suddenly felt achievable. And the more I learned, the more I realized that thousands of other people could experience the same transformation. That's why I became certified. That's why I continue learning. That's why I continue teaching, because I want people to understand that AI isn't replacing their abilities, it's expanding them. One of my favorite parts of this journey is watching people discover what they are capable of. I've watched beginners create their first digital products. I've watched business owners organize systems that had been overwhelming them for years. I've watched people gain confidence. I've watched entrepreneurs find clarity. I've watched creators discover new ways to share their message. I've watched people realize they were exactly where they needed to be. And the pattern is always the same. It begins with one step, one question, one lesson, one breakthrough, then another, then another. Success doesn't happen because someone suddenly becomes an expert. Success happens because someone decides to keep learning. That's why I focus so heavily on beginner education. One of the most exciting projects is the Calm AI Business Starter Kit trademark. This kit was created specifically for beginners, people who want guidance, people who want structure, people who want a roadmap. Inside the starter kit, you'll find resources designed to simplify the journey: the Calm AI Starter Guide, the Calm AI Workbook, the Calm AI Planner, prompt libraries, business organization tools, workflow builders, content planning resources, Canva creation guides, Etsy business resources, KDP publishing resources, marketing templates, launch planning tools. Everything was built around one goal: reducing overwhelm. Because overwhelmed people rarely move forward, but people with clarity take action. The starter kit helps transform confusion into confidence. One lesson at a time, one worksheet at a time, one breakthrough at a time. As we begin to close, I want to leave you with something important. Artificial intelligence is changing the world, that much is obvious, but the real question is, will you give yourself permission to grow with it? Because growth is a choice, learning is a choice, curiosity is a choice, And every meaningful transformation begins with a choice. A choice to try, a choice to ask questions, a choice to learn, a choice to believe that your future can be different than your past. I know what it feels like to start something new. I know what it feels like to feel uncertain. I know what it feels like to wonder if you're capable. And I also know what happens when people keep going. They discover strengths they didn't know they had. They develop confidence. They create opportunities. They build businesses. They improve their lives. They help others. And eventually they become the person they once hoped they could become. That's why Calm AI exists. Not to create pressure, not to create fear. Calm AI exists to create possibility, understanding, confidence, community, no matter your age, no matter your background. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. You are learning, and learning is one of the most powerful things a person can do. My hope is that Calm AI becomes more than a training platform. I hope it becomes a movement of people who choose curiosity over fear, because that's how transformation happens, not all at once, one calm step at a time. So wherever you are today, I want you to know something. You belong here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in yourself. I'm Hope Haynes. This is Calm AI. And together we're building a future filled with clarity, confidence, opportunity, and hope.